bull or bear? Let's see here. Looks like a bull. Let's see what happens tomorrow morning. Coin was right on the New Year's as far as Friday's coin toss, or I should say Saturday's. Good evening. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. Got the live Duval Street cam up in Key West, which is about 4 hours south of me. 77 degrees across the state. Well, not across the state, but South Florida down to the Key West. Beautiful, lovely evening out there. As you can see, you know, most of the country and most of the world is in winter jackets, warm clothing, and they got the heat on. Meanwhile, what have we got down here? We've got sandals and shorts, folks. Can't beat that. One of the beautiful reasons we live down here in South Florida. And it just gets busier and busier down there as well. One of the great tourist spots in South Florida. If you've never been down to Florida before and you're coming down here, make sure you put Key West on your trip list. And definitely, well, cruise ship's a nice way to get there, I'm sure. Most of these folks right here are probably on cruises. They get dropped off, get a chance to enjoy beautiful Key West in the evening. But the drive down there, as any local Floridian will tell you, is absolutely beautiful in the wintertime, especially you get a nice sunny blue sky day and the water's clear. Can't beat the drive. One of my favorite drives besides the Pacific Coast Highway in California. All right, let's get into what we're here to talk about, which is precious metals. And let me reduce that screen a little bit. There we go. Again, that's the live Duval Street cam down in Key West, Florida, outside of Sloppy Joe's. Great people watching cam if you like watching people. Of course, you know me, people, fish, any kind of wildlife, and it's all wildlife. Well, all right, let's get into spot prices. Hope you had a great New Year's weekend here. We took, I think we were closed Friday, Saturday. Well, we closed partially on Friday, but we were closed Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. No markets open yesterday, obviously, or the New York markets weren't open at the very least. And today opened up like the coin said on Saturday. It was a bull market this morning in the opening. Where were we? About 1850, 2457, and almost touching that 1100 mark on platinum. I didn't see it. I was busy as heck preparing for a coin and collectible show, actually a coin show up at the in Orlando called the Fun Show. So I'm preparing for that. Didn't get a chance to really see the morning opening here, but was surprised to see the levels that we are this morning, but maybe not surprised. I figured that the new year we're going to see totally different levels, and I'm sure we are. I think a lot of things are changing out there, including the manipulative behavior and the COMEX, who are actually gold, silver, and platinum markets in general. Not because not because things are getting more honest, just because things have gotten so dishonest that these markets have so so screwed up, and the prices are so stupidly low in most of these metals right here that at some point the supply and demand factor for real physical metals is going to kick in. Not to mention, it's a very small percentage of people out there that buy gold, silver, and platinum on a physical level on any way, shape, or form. Maybe less than 1% of the population out there, I think, is really into gold bars, silver bars, and platinum bars, even though central banks do hold a large amount of that stuff. And you got to ask yourself, why do central banks buy, why does the Russians buy more gold? Why is the Chinese buying more gold? Why are all these countries buying more gold and increasing their gold supply? Why does the United States claim to have, we may still have it in Fort Knox, I don't know, when's the last time we did an audit, but we claim to have the largest gold supply in the world, which seems pretty odd for a relic, an old shiny rock, as some might have called it. And meanwhile, again, what do countries collect? What do the countries covet? What do central banks covet? They covet golds, gold, and, well, not necessarily silver, but gold primarily. These prices are just super cheap, folks. $18.39, $24 silver, $1,085 platinum, and still in my mind is super cheap. I think we're going to see all different price level this year. Well, hopefully, hopefully we'll see higher prices this year. But with supply and demand factors coming into play, I mean real supply and demand factors, not the paper charade that we see in the COMEX, CRIMEX markets. I think that again, things are ready for big changes out there. Ted Butler talks about this. 2022 was a momentous year for silver and gold. I'm going to do a quick, where is it? I'm going to do a quick quote of him. You can, by the way, Ted Butler very seldom puts out his newest stuff for free. You can read his most recent newsletter for free here on gata.org. It's called Ted Butler 2022 is a momentous year for silver and gold. I pay to read that, so you actually have an advantage here. You get it for free this week while I paid to read, which I don't complain about because I wish these articles were free, but of course you can't make a living giving out free articles. But great write-up by Ted Butler. I recommend you read. Again, you can find it at gata.org. Recommended reading on my part, not homework. I should, again, nobody likes homework. Recommended reading. USA Gold's January news. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's not what am I saying. There it is right there. Ted Butler 2022 was a momentous year for silver and gold. Let me read a little thing here that I found very interesting. A lot of folks don't trust BlackRock SLV. Ted Butler is actually... He's invested somewhat, or I think his wife is somewhat invested in SLV. He doesn't think that it's all paper charade, but he does believe that they are having some issues with the paper charade. And let me read this. Another profound new wrinkle developed in 2022 in the massive increase in the short position on SLV. As this short position grew to more than 60 million shares, 55 million ounces, at its peak in August, as of December 15th, the short position on SLV remained massive at 50 million shares, 45 million ounces. This has been my second go-around with the short position on SLV with BlackRock, the trust sponsor, as more than 10 years ago the same issue has cropped up. I thought the issue of excessive short selling at SLV was a thing of the past, particularly after BlackRock did a complete about-face from where it stood a decade ago when it tried to dismiss my concerns that short selling in SLV wasn't its concern. The about-face came in February 2021 when BlackRock preemptively added new wording to the prospectus that warned of the danger of short sellers on SLV, with BlackRock essentially adopting the very same position I held a decade ago, of which it preemptively dismissed back then. Funny things, how things change. And Ted Butler, really, I got to tell you folks, all you silver stackers out there owe Ted Butler. I'll say you don't owe anybody, really. You don't owe anybody in life, but Ted Butler is one of the gentlemen out there that has, for decades, pointed out how the silver market, how crooked it is, and how manipulated it is, and who does it, and how they do it, and the details. And he's dead spot on. He writes these people. He writes BlackRock. He writes the CFTC. He writes the CME Group. And he asks these questions, and he's familiar with all the people. So, if you want to be, informed on who knows the most about this stuff and who can actually tell you how these markets are manipulated and why and who and what, it's definitely Ted Butler. I kind of digress there a little bit, but I wanted to point that out and give him a lot of credit here because, again, he's one of the lone voices out there. There are some guys that talk about the manipulation in the silver prices and the silver markets, but Ted Butler is definitely the king of them all. And if you're not reading him and you're not reading what he's talking about, then you really are missing a big part of why I always say that we are given the gift with really these super low prices that are manipulated in the Crimex markets by these big commercial banks that Ted talks about. Again, I'm starting to kind of drift off here. Don't want to do that. Ted says at the time, February 2021, the short position on SLV was 17 million shares, and the total amount of shares outstanding was significantly greater than currently, meaning the percentage of shares with no required metal backing is all that much greater today at nearly 1 out of every 10 shares, outstanding 10% compared to the less than 3% of total shares outstanding held short at the time of the prospectus warning. And basically what Ted's talking about is that short position in SLV has grown even larger. Back when he complained about it, it was just 3%. Now it's become 10%. And let's get into why that is a little bit. And again, you can read this for free. I'll show you how to read this whole article for free, which I highly recommend you do. And Ted says, in any event, these facts seem to have generated no rebuttal from BlackRock, the world's largest money manager, or the Securities and Exchange Commission, of course we expect that, to what have been 4 formal complaints by me, Ted Butler, over as many months and many more before that. Again, folks, there's not many people writing complaints to BlackRock and the Securities Exchange Commission asking these questions. Ted Butler is one of the few. He really should be recognized in the silver stacker community as one of the most important people we have out there that goes to bat for us and, again, understands how these crooks work. All right, Ted says here, importantly, even though the short position on SLV is nowhere near as large as the equivalent silver short position on the COMEX, naked shorts, what makes the short position on SLV critical is that the only practical reason one would short shares of SLV is because the physical metal required by the prospective to be deposited for each share outstanding isn't available and can't be deposited. That's a very important comment that Ted makes here. And what does this really mean? Ted says this is not rocket science. Although I continue to be mystified by the science on the part of the those interested in the silver on the issue. Basically, Ted says that very few people are talking about this in the silver community, in the Wall Street silver community, and all the other YouTube talking heads. And he's absolutely right. Why is this large short position out there with SLV? Well, it's because they don't have the silver to cover that position. So that's why that short position exists. Again, another great reason why, if you're really into this kind of stuff and you're into knowing how these markets are manipulated, who, why, where, and how, you need to be reading this stuff. And a great gift here, a free, his newest article here, free to anyone that wants to read it out there. Again, suggested reading. Ted Butler, 2022 was a momentous year for gold and silver. Highly recommend you read that. It'll make you feel much better about where we are, where we've been, and where we're going. Meanwhile, I want to talk about premiums, what the best deals out there. Of course, let me do my little advertising spiel. My name is Brian Kuzmar. I've been doing this since 1977. I've been running this particular store here, Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. Originally, we started out as A1A Rare Coin. I was partners with Bob Lessie, but since then, it's become Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. I am a sole proprietor here. We buy and sell gold, silver, platinum coins, and bars. Also, rare coins and paper money as well, something that I'm very good at too. But again, these videos mostly talk about precious metals. One thing that I can do better than all the YouTube talking heads out there is I can tell you what the best deals out there, what to buy and what to stay away from, and what the current premiums you should be paying for stuff. And let's get into that right now. You know, like a broken record, I just sound like a broken record by saying, by talking about broken records, because I say that all the time. The best deals are still the best deals out there. Premiums across the board have dropped on all the high premium products, all the sovereign products more or less, like gold eagles. Premiums have dropped dramatically on those. But folks, there's still too much money, in my opinion. They may have dropped $1, but what is, give me 1 second here. You should be paying no more than, wow, that is pretty cheap, $114 over. Let me just make sure I type that in right. Wow, $114 over for gold eagles. I can't complain too much about that, but still the best deal today is 1 ounce gold bars. Let's take a look at those right there. Any of these products, try not to buy them with another company's name on them. I don't like to buy these things back. I usually melt them if I can. But you know, what person that's in business wants to, again, promote another competitor's product out there? I don't understand why APMEX, JM, SD Bullion put their names and phone numbers and websites on their bars. I think it's a vanity thing mostly, maybe a little bit ego, but I'm not going to bag them on that. We all have egos. But what's the best deals out there? Again, gold bars are Perth Mints, Valcombis, PAMPs, all those things, even the RMCs out there, Swiss credits, you name it. Spot Plus, let me just see if prices changed on those as well. Hang on 1 second. 1 ounce gold bars. Wow. In card. Man, those things have just got cheaper and cheaper. I think we're at the bottom of cheap premiums right now. Spot Plus $70 or less on gold bars. Again, if you're buying larger quantities, you should be paying less for sure, but you shouldn't be paying more than $70 for gold bars, in my opinion. And more than $114 for gold eagles. And let me just say, what's the next best deal out there? Elephants. The South African elephants are absolutely awesome. They're Spot Plus 85. Let me show you what those look like right here. Oh boy, as you can tell, I'm in my store here. I've been busy packing for the show. Needed to get this video here. South African gold elephants, elephantes. fancy way of saying that. Gold elefantes. There you go. 1 ounce gold elephants. They look like that. They're really awesome. And they're actually just like $5. Well, hold on. They're a little bit cheaper than Gold Eagle. Krugerrands. $5 cheaper than Krugerrands, and I think it has a much cooler design. We have these at Spot Plus. What did I say? I didn't say anything, right? Spot Plus $85. I actually did tell you. So great deal on elephants that we have in our store. $85 over Spot. And again, if you're buying quantities, we can sell them to you for less. Next best deal would be Krugerrands, and let me just show you a visual of those Krugerrands at Spot Plus $90, I believe it is. Yep, Spot Plus $90. $5 more. Surprisingly, gold maple leafs are cheaper than Krugerrands. In the past, that hasn't been the case, but I guess there seems to be a good availability of maple leafs out there. Maple leafs are Spot Plus $87. So a lot of these products, the premiums are as cheap as I've seen them in 3 years. That's, straight up, folks, man. I haven't seen premiums on gold this cheap in at least 3 years. Remember, Gold Eagles were climbing. They're $114 over right now. They were as high as, $225 over consistently with the big websites, APMEX, SD, JM Bullion, and those guys. And I could still beat their prices then, and I'll beat them now. Little advertising for me there. Well, anyways, best deal in silver out there is still, let me take a look. Silver 40% has got really cheap premiums. The spread is the lowest of them all. There's like a $3 spread or $4 spread on, a $4 spread on 40% at the most. You can't beat the spread on that, but man, it's just, nobody likes 40%. A lot of people don't. 90% constitutional silver, Spot Plus $4. I still think it's overpriced when you can buy 1 ounce rounds, generic rounds at Spot Plus $3. You can buy 10 ounce bars at Spot Plus. Let's take a look here. Spot Plus 3 1/4. Kilo bars. I just can't get over how cheap those are at Spot Plus $2.50. And again, 100 ounce bars are Spot Plus $2.50. I'd rather buy kilos. I think it's a better deal. Smaller increments, of course, easier to deal with. But those are the best deals out there, folks. And I was talking about, kilo, 1 ounce 1 ounce kilos. Kilo silver bars. Let's see what they come up with. We sell Combis and some other mints, metal ore, but these are all good brands that you're looking at right here. Again, how do you beat that? Spot Plus $2.50. I think that's the cheapest I've seen premiums on any silver in the last year on generic silver. Silver Eagles are still overpriced at, Spot Plus $10 in the wholesale level or more. Silver Eagles, type those in. Love the product. I think Silver Eagles are great. And interestingly enough, the bid and ask on the wholesale side on Silver Eagles is so freaking wide, you wouldn't believe it. There's literally a probably a $4 to $5 spread on the wholesale level between their bid and ask price on Silver Eagles, which tells me that there's a lot of Silver Eagles out there, and dealers are pretty rich holding on to a lot of Silver Eagles at the moment. They don't want to load up anymore with higher silver prices and with the premiums where they've been, but the premiums haven't come down that much below that Spot Plus $10 level. If you want to buy Silver Eagles, I've got them here, but I'll probably try to convince you, stay the hell away from them. They're just overpriced, folks. Unless you're buying a gift for someone or you're just collecting them, don't buy Silver Eagles. They're overpriced for sure. Same thing with 90%, but not as bad as it once was. Well, that's it. I'm going to get into yesterday's video, which was Saturday's video, which is I'll die with my silver. And if you wonder no, I wasn't talking about that. I'm like Custer's Last Stand, and I'm going to sit here with my pile of silver and fight off the zombie apocalypse of silver haters or whatever it is. More or less what I was talking about is that I haven't seen the capitulation by a lot of people. I've been selling silver for decades and decades and decades now, and some of the biggest buyers I've seen, I haven't seen them capitulate. And a lot of the big buyers that I see are talking about this is what they're going to leave behind to their children. They're going to die with their silver. They're going to leave it for their children. And, if you're going to leave anything in the long term, how could you go wrong with leaving an asset like silver, which has been beaten down by the crooked criminals in Crimex to just obscenely cheap levels? levels for such a long time, especially given now premiums are so low. So if you can still stack at these levels, man, what a gift. But no less, a lot of these guys are just not selling, even at higher silver prices. I bet you when we see silver 30, 40, and 50 bucks, a lot of these folks are going to just pass it along to their children because I think they can see $100 silver in the future. I think they can see 150. I think they could see higher silver prices in the future. I don't think the catastrophe that we're seeing in politics and economics is even really yet begun to show its ugly face out there. And once it does, I mean, again, de-dollarization out there by the BRICS countries, and we've weaponized it. We've created so many problems here. Our politicians are complete morons on both sides, red and blue. Again, I can jump down this rabbit hole. I've been there before. And I'm going to just talk about the comments here. Let me get into comments here. Sort by, before I jump down a rabbit hole. Man, I'm good at that too, aren't I? Real quick sip of water here. Give me one sec. Happy New Year's to everyone. You too, Joe McDonald. Hope everyone, again, had a Happy New Year. T. Lee says, that's my plan because that means I've done well. My finance never had to turn any of it loose. I'm leaving it to my friends and my will. I think they really enjoy it. That's kind of interesting. I mean, Lee's talking about the same thing. That's his plan. He's going to die with his silver. I mean, you know what, though? Don't die with anything. You can't take it with you. I mean, before you die, unless there's somebody that, you got so much you don't care and you couldn't spend it all if you tried, and you didn't want to spend it all and you're going to leave it. That's okay. But don't live like a poor pauper and leave stuff to your kids. You know what I mean? Or I shouldn't say that, but it's true. Spend it while you can. Go out and enjoy your life. Enjoy what the assets that you have. And if silver's high enough, go ahead and sell it, man. Spend it on yourself. But meanwhile, and you too, T. Lee, spend some of that on yourself, unless you're just so rich you can afford to leave it your friends. In that case, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'll give you my address as well. So, only kidding. JTBSK, no, I'm not kidding, actually. JTBSK2 says, Happy New Year's. Thanks for what you do in the Stackers community. You too as well, guys. I really appreciate everyone hitting that like and subscribe button and passing my videos around, and all you supporters out there that make these comments as well. Cool intro. Thank you, BJ Strom. Crypto says, salute and cheers to all. Drain the physical inventories. Absolutely true. Criminal manipulative enterprises. Kakin says, make silver 43 make silver 40 since 19 was 43 years ago. Yeah, silver, well, actually I think it hit a high of $50. Maybe it was an intraday high, but we did see $50 silver back there, 49 or $50 silver in 1980. But gosh, $50 silver in 1980 and in today's dollars, what the hell is that? That's like $500 silver or more in comparable dollars. Excuse me. Just checking out the outside views here. What a beautiful evening it is. Sorry, got a little distracted there. Showpro says, so glad to see. Oh yeah, Showpro, what's up? You're nice to have you come in. And again, I always love it when you commenters come in and you remind me that you're a commenter out there and give me your name. Showpro, I know exactly who you are. Got your face visualized right now. Thanks for watching. Happy New Year's to you as well. Fizz6 says, Happy New Year's. Many thanks, Brian, for you and making the experience of buying rare coins and precious metal very pleasurable. Life can be volatile as a marketplace, but I wish you many more upswings and downs. I look forward to doing plenty of business with your establishment. Thank you. I appreciate that, Fizzsticks. I appreciate that very much. Hope you have a wonderful New Year as well. Silverliner, what's up? Been to John Panacamp State Park near Key Largo. Oh, man, that's one of my favorite cams. Got a chance to put it on Saturday because I got the video done Saturday morning instead of Friday night. But I love the John Panacamp cam. Christopher says, the truth has no defense against a fool determined to believe a lie. That's by Mark Twain. Can't argue with that. Joe from Texas says, Brian, enjoyed and heeded your commentary throughout 2022. Your program is very educational, informative. Wish you and yours a prosperous, happy New Year. Stay the same. Don't change in 2023. Oh, man, Joe, I got to tell you, it's just at some point I've been doing these videos consistently for 3 years now, and just like we talk about the same thing: manipulation, when it's going to change, how it's going to change, who the players are, quotes from these different articles. I feel like I've got to update these videos something. Maybe I'll start talking about rare coins more or something like that. But man, I'm kind of bored myself. I shouldn't say that. But anyways, thanks for commenting, Joe. I appreciate it. I don't mean bored, but I just sure wish there was more to talk about than just the manipulation that happens consistently, the crookedness in our governments, the crookedness in economics. it's the theme of the decade. It's the theme of our lives right now, and it's just hard to get away from that. I'm so sick of talking about it. I'm getting more personal with you than I should, but thanks for commenting, Joe. Appreciate it. Northern Hillbilly says, when deflation hits and silver hits over 50, I'll trade my rounds for a track keep. Good for you, man. I hope you're going to buy. What are you going to buy, actually? You're going to buy what is that? What's that Ford Raptor? You're going to get yourself a Raptor there? Or it's going to be an electric truck? Probably a Raptor. Nothing like gasoline. I'm sorry. Northern Hillbilly says gold to silver, gold, electronic. Oh, pivot to gold. There you go. You got your plan there. Buy a truck or pivot to gold. Welco Services says, let me control a nation's currency and I care not about its law. Oh, I forget who said that. Was that Thomas Jefferson or one of those guys? Or is it unattributed? But a great quote. I believe that 100%. 2023 might be known as the great Muppet reaping if the fiat dollar Ponzi scheme collapses. It's been collapsing for a long time. It's just in a continual collapse. I think the dollar is still going to be around in one form or another. Is it going to be digital? Possible, but it's still going to be a dollar. It's still going to be fiat. But it's just going to take a lot more to buy what we're used to buying now. And that's why you buy gold, silver, and platinum. It's a hedge against a falling dollar. We always talk about that. Nate W. says $50 in silver 1980 is worth about $183 as per government statistics. Well, which is not reliable. I'm glad you said that because I couldn't imagine that. $50 back in 1980 is, to me, that's probably worth $500 now given inflation and what products cost and everything, food and all those things like that. Thanks for bringing that up, Nate W. Appreciate that. Paul Gordon says, love your videos. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to you as well, Paul. Invisible Stacker says, yeah, I said that. Never heard that one. It's actually, they're birds, man. You got a dirty mind there, bud? Tits on a log are birds. They're small birds. Where is it? Do I actually got a picture of one? Yeah, I'll show you later. But they're small birds, and I forget what kind of species they are. But they sit on logs, and they don't really do much. That's why I said worthless as tits on a log. It's an old saying. Frank Me says, believe in believing. Whatever you believe is true if you truly believe. Boy, that's pretty heavy, dude. That's Happy New Year's. Man, a lot of comments. Silverback says, drain it all in 2023. And again, Happy New Year's to you too, Celeste. It only takes 1% of people stacking hard. Stack like your financial future depends on it because it does. Michael Kuehl says, saw it with my own two eyes, so what are we here to do? Lost me on that one a little bit. I forgot where I said that, or maybe someone else said that. Anyways, thanks for commenting. Happy New Year's to you, Michael. Zeke the Great says, if I was a miner, I would hold back a percentage of my monthly output till the paper price manipulation ends. Can't argue with that. Gary Wright, hey, Gish Guy. I think he meant Fish Guy. Gish Guy. Happy New Year's to you and other loyal followers. 2023 will be a year of events that we could never imagine not for that long. Thank you for all you do. USA by Rob. Happy New Year's, Linda. Christina says the CME Group are self-regulated. Can't make that up. Only in America. That's absolutely true. Boca Stacker wishing you a Happy New Year's as well. Mike's big epiphany. Too many people are living on the public dole. I'm just talking about, yeah, I know, Mike. It is what it is. Philip Stanton, Michael Matthews, what's up? Happy New Year's to you guys as well. And I'm going to call it quits. Man, that was a lot of comments there. I was wondering if I was going to get through it. Hey, thanks for watching. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful South Florida, in Lauderdale by the Sea. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum, anywhere from $1 worth to millions of dollars worth, come by and see us at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. We're open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. We're a brick and mortar, been in the same location since 1995. We advertise to beat ATMEX, SD, and Bullion, and the other big boys out there as well. And if you live anywhere in the continental U.S. and you're buying larger quantities, say, for example, more than 1,500 ounces of silver and more than 100 ounces of gold, call us as well at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. We can do shipping and secured methods of payment, and we'll beat the big boys and more than likely the locals in your area as well for larger quantities too. Meanwhile, thanks for watching, folks. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and have yourself a wonderful evening. Talk to you tomorrow, hopefully. Although this week I will be out of town at a hotel with terrible internet connections, so my videos will likely be slightly on the short side and maybe just audio only. Anyways, thanks for watching and putting up with me, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.